All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the second weekend of Regions Cup. I am your host, Kapil 6. Along with me is Andy Dex and Haphazard. Say hey, guys.
Hello.
Hey
How's it
guys.
going? We are back again for more action. Unfortunately, very unfortunately, we missed out on yesterday's banger of an endurance race. And yeah, we will fill you in on what happened. There was a 2.5 hours race in Spa, 2.4 hours is what they claim. So 2 hours, 24 minutes. And we had a dry to wet to dry kind of a race. There was domination in the front by Moto, who's from the north, but a lot of the top drivers were from the west. So good points. It looks to be a more of a two-horse race at this point in time between west and north. And kind of stay tuned to see how that kind of translates with this race. The AC Time Attack, which has a lot of points, so we'll be releasing the point system for that very soon. And then the last weekend. So yeah, it's all to play for here. Southwest and Southeast. I'm not sure how they're going to fare in the next few races, but we'll wait and watch. All right, coming back to tonight's event, we have relay races here in F125. This is a classic that we do for um, all things Regions Cup. So today we have uh, 325% races. So that is going to be a mix of, how do I put it? A a mix of one shot quali, pure pace, and then we're going to start flipping things around with regards to the position come the second race. So strategically, you can move drivers up and down based on your team. You tag team, you switch sides, typical of a relay race. So as the event progresses, we'll keep you posted on that. But yeah, Andy, what are the tracks for the day?
So first up, we have Spa-Francorchamps from the Belgian Ardennes. That is going to be a driver's circuit. We're going to see how the drivers play out on strategies. On one-shot quali, it's definitely going to be one where they want to start ahead, but overtaking is something that you can do in these cars. There's quite a few opportunities. So why don't you walk us to the next one, Have?
The next one, if I'm not wrong, is Vegas, right, guys?
Yes, we are
Yeah,
racing
Vegas.
the strip.
Yeah. Vegas is again another amazing new track that they've brought along. It's one of the street tracks that definitely can have an overtake placed on there. The straights are fantastic. The small curves, or rather the corners that come through are heartbreaking corners. So again, it will promote overtaking, and we'll see some spectacular moves down that long straight that's on the Vegas Strip, basically. Going to the next one, Andy.
Yep. And our last circuit for the day would be nestled in the middle of the Styrian Mountains. We are at the Red Bull Ring. This is one of the shortest tracks on the F1 calendar, and it punishes you in every single corner because a small mistake can mean a big amount of loss in positions. This is not an easy circuit by any means whatsoever. So don't judge the Red Bull Ring for just the simplicity of its corners because there's a lot more substance to it when it comes to actually being in the driver's seat and having to traverse all the corners of that short, regardlessly, and incredibly strenuous track.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely interested to see how the drivers, tackle each track. Of course, having three distinct tracks on the event itself means that some players, some drivers might be stronger at one, while others may be stronger at the other. So we'll have definitely see a lot of variations there, and hopefully a fight till the end.
Yep, and it's all to play for because just like Kapil mentioned, we will have teams who will play strategically. They will want to play one off for the next track and they will want to put the stronger driver ahead and whatever strategies that they can cook up in their mind. So it's not just pure pace. It is going to have a lot of strategic elements.
Mm-hmm. And speaking about the drivers, do you have any favorites for the time being? Do you support? Are you supporting any specific team this time, or are you being quite neutral with them?
The commentator never biases anybody. And I will choose my special drivers with the races because I am known to have cursed drivers that I speak of a lot in the race. You will
Uh,
just see a few of them in the race. So
that's
let's see what happens.
that's the most basic driver sorry that's the most basic commentator thing that I've ever seen. Every time a commentator chooses a side, there's always a curse there, so that's quite normal, I would say. I have cursed a lot of drivers back, in F1 23, 24, so I've seen it all.
The last Regions Cup that I commentated at, there were two drivers I focused on a lot, and both of them lost their positions incredibly badly.
Well,
It was
hopefully,
Moto.
yeah,
It was
hopefully
incredible.
we'll keep it quite neutral in this one, and let's see what happens.
Let's
Again,
see.
coming to the track itself, I think Spa. Yeah, so speaking about Spark, and such an amazing track. I love the corners through the track itself. It's quite a technical track, and again it's a purpose-built circuit, so it's got quite a lot of history with it. There's some amazing moves that we've seen. Again, um, the moves up towards Radion is always something eagerly that we're waiting to watch, and I hope they're able to maximize on this while we wait for the drivers to get ready for qualifying. Again, this will be a one-shot quali, so it's all or nothing for these drivers. Every single tenth matters for them in this moment.
Absolutely. And just like you mentioned, every single turn has a story of its own. But in Spa, the problem is you can hit track limits pretty easily. It can be
Mhm,
anywhere. It can be through
mhm,
Pohon, it can be through Radion, it can be in the last circuit as you go through
mhm,
Blanchimont or at the bus stop chicane. So you have
mhm,
to be incredibly careful because you are just going to be carrying oodles of speed into all these high speed corners. And with
mhm.
these 2025 generation of cars with insane amounts of downforce with ground effect peaking in this year, you would definitely be a little bit worried about if you can actually hit those track limits. So let's see how many drivers actually are able to put a lap time on the board.
True, true. Let's see. Again, considering like you mentioned, there's a lot of mistakes to be had, mistakes to be made. That can be possible. Again, the weather looks quite clear and sunny, so we won't be expecting a wet quali at all. I don't even think we'll see a wet race, to be honest. So that should basically ease up the race a bit for our drivers. But again, let's hope that we can see something exciting from quali itself.
Yep. I'm really excited to see what are the lap times that people
Ooh.
put up and how people specifically take Lecom. I know Puhan is the most exciting corner and you have Radion, but Lecom is something that I think people get wrong a lot of the time when it comes to track limits.
Mhm. I think I have to agree with you. Again, it's one of those corners where you have to push a lot to gain a lot, right? And that can come at its own cost. Oh, well, let's get through qualifying. I'll give it to you, Andy, for this one.
And here we are on board with Aradha Gupta taking La Sauce. He's taken a tight line through there and he will head now down into Radion. He will boost out of here. So let's see how much he lifts through here, or will he take it flat? He's taking it flat. As we can see, he's going to boost out of this onto the Camel Straight. He's going to get DRS. As we see just right now, he's going to get that fillip of 20 to 25 kph depending upon what his setup is like. Gonna break into this corner to harvest the energy, take Lecom. He's taking all the curve that he can through here. So you want to lift a little bit as you go out of this corner. So it has to be a nice balance of time. As we can see, one car is just grazing track limits there. So that is a little bit of a loss of time for Faizan there. So now he will head down towards Buhon, which is a corner of commitment. You have to know your limits here. You have to know exactly how much, and he just about is hitting the limit there. We can see cars just taking as much track as they can. And that's Russ Singh, we see going through the corners here, which is the last punch you will see before the long straight at the end of the circuit. So you need to get your exit right. You need to have enough charge in the battery in order to be able to push all the way down and not end up with a dead yes in this case. What do you think now? How are the laps going so far?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, at the start of the first sector, things were looking quite different. Simply was ahead, but now he's quite far back. I think he's made a mistake up towards heading towards sector 2. Now we are heading to the bus stop chicane. Again, this is the most crucial part of your lap. You need to get a better exit out of here to get the most as a lap time. And we see Aradhya Gupta taking pole, followed by Sandeep Maradu. Again, just a tenth off, but enough to steal pole.
Yep. I was definitely a little bit bullish on Aradhya. Speaking about his practice, I saw earlier today. So he was definitely putting in time. But yeah, for him to take pole, let's see how he does in the race. I have confidence in him. So let's see the results. It's Aradhya to start with on pole. Sandeep Marido on the front row, Racing in third, Gangster in fourth, Yosh in fifth, Ritesh in sixth, Alex in seventh, Flaxen in eighth, Dark Knight in ninth, and simply completes our top 10. He did not put a lap time, neither did Faizan, neither did Maverick, and Pre completes the grid. So all of these, so quite a few drivers who could not post legal lap times due to track limits or corner cutting. So what we spoke about did eventually come true. This is not a forgiving track when it comes to either of these infringements.
Perfect. Well, we have some time left between the event and, well, let's say between qualifying and race. Let's probably discuss how many regions that we're going to observe fighting in the race itself. How many regions are there, Andy?
Uh, as far I can see, I don't have the thing in front of me. So, Half, I think you'd be better to run us through it.
Uh, well, give me 1 second while sorry. Oh,
So
we
we
have.
have five,
Sorry, go ahead.
five regions contesting. But just like we mentioned earlier on, it is going to be primarily our northern brothers and all our players from north who are on the bullish end. But we'd love to see some drivers mix it up coming in from the southeast and the southwest regions. So let's see what kind of a spice they can bring up to this already spicy track. I'm quite excited to see that.
Yeah. I think the boys in the south have to take it away. I feel like we have a lot of good drivers, but in the southern region as well. So we may see something from the south. Let's see what can happen as we are waiting for the drivers to get ready. Again, this is the moment where they get to decide what tires they want to be on, what strategy they want to go for, and again how they want to approach with the race. This is a complete mental reset from quali again. And I think when we think about these drivers, I think Simply and Faizan probably would have to go through a complete reset considering that they had a shit show in quali, for lack of a better word.
Yep. And then again, we don't know how their setups felt, so they might want to make some changes if they felt that there was understeer or oversteer. Maybe they just made a driver error. So we don't know the variables of that. But have a question towards you. You've been driving a little bit more in the recent past than I have. What would be the most optimal and what would be the most crazy strategy that you could take on a track like this?
It depends on how many laps we have. I think we're running what, a 25% race, if I'm not
25%,
wrong.
yes.
Yeah. You can never go wrong with a one stop. It has to be a one stop, to be honest. And I would prefer a medium to hard. I think I'd prefer more grip on my first tint when I have more fuel in my car, and then towards the end when I'm gonna push towards hard. I think again this was back in 2020, 2023, and 24 that I raced, so it's a long time ago. But then this would be my optimal strategy. A one stop would work definitely in Spa. The track doesn't eat too much on your tires, at least if you know how to ride the curbs well.
Yep, that's true. And it's kind of like taking an insurance against a safety car, a medium, and then you just swap onto a hard and take the longest stint possible.
Well, yeah,
So yeah, we
definitely.
have the cars on the grid, and we are now starting our formation laps. The cars will go off; they'll get their tire temps up. Something very important to get in this circuit. So let's see what our drivers can get as they go around this beautiful track with the most amount of elevation changes on the F1 calendar. So the cars will now ride up this elevation. So fun fact, actually, you might think it's not a long, it's not quite a lot of elevation, but in real life, it's like a proper hill. You might even think like you want to trek it. So what we see from the driver's view is not quite realistic in what it is in real life. That's an interesting thing about Spa Francorchamps. And a lot of the track can actually be seen from mountainside roads in Belgium, and because it's nestled in the middle of the Ardennes Mountains. So that's something interesting about this track actually.
Oh, definitely. I think I have to agree with you. The elevation changes, and again, those beautiful, beautiful fast to medium corners. Those are really fun to drive at. I think driving in Spa is one of those tracks where, especially during the 2020 game, you just want to push flat out through most of those corners, just pushing the limits of the car itself. It's always fun. It's a
Yep.
challenging track as well.
Exactly, and this track rewards rhythm and flow. If your rhythm or flow is broken, you will not enjoy driving on this track because it requires you to be very, very on the nose and aware of where your car is and placing your car in the right place. Because especially these chain of corners, you miss one exit, your chain of corners is compromised. So you have to be on the top of your game at all times. So let's have a look at the tires. We have our top four starting on the soft tire, which is an interesting strategy. They might want to bail on an early safety car or bail on a longer second stint, while our drivers from fifth through ninth, as well as Faizan and Pri, are going on a medium. But Simply and Maverick, who are starting towards the tail end of the grid, are taking a soft. So they want to make up places early. As we can see, Pri has got a little bit of a gap towards the back, so he will need to catch up. He might just want to keep a little more temp in his tires. As the cars ahead are just beginning to form up on the grid, Aradia has just exited the bus stop chicane and is on the main straight. So he will be setting into this grid box. So whatever tire temps he has, they will start to plummet within a few seconds as we speak, as the cars just get onto the final turn and settle into their grid boxes. It will be interesting to see how La Sauce or turn one is taken. Af, you can take us through the race start.
Of course, it's always exciting to always have a race start as we see these cars running up towards their formation, their grid spots. Basically, it's now is the time where they have to push for as we wait for the fire lights. Again, the drivers are ready, the tires are burning hard, they're buzzing to start this race as we see the first light, the second light, third light, the fourth light, fifth light, and it's out and away these cars go as we see again. Aradhya had a good start covering Sandeep Maradu easily as we see him approaching the first corner. It's been very close from Rush Singh as he almost goes in rear ends Sandeep Maradu, but again has to deal with Josh on P4, the P4, and we see them ghosting a bit as they're quite close to each other, and we see a great jump from Faizan as we see him getting one spot up towards Radion. P7. Oh, there's a crash there right there. We see 3 cars out.
Three cars out. Simply YT, Maverick, and Plaxan are all out. And I was just about to say, did we just get cleanly through La Sauce for once? And I did not even get the opportunity to say it. So, bit of a commentator's curse perhaps. But what happened there? Was it they crashed through Radion, or did they lose it coming out of there? Bit of a confusion there.
Possibly someone must have lost the grip and taken out both of them as a consequence of it, of his move as such, because they all three of them were quite close to each other, so that should be a safety car honestly, but we haven't seen. Sorry,
I think there is a safety car waiting. I think we just haven't got the notification.
Yeah.
See on the map.
And there's a blip, definitely. True. And again, that was a quite a good restart, at least until the first corner. And we see, again, that's quite rare to see mistakes up towards Radion, but then again, that corner is challenging. What do you think about the restart? Again, Aradhya had an amazing start, but what do you have?
He was smart to cover off Sandeep right then and there, because you don't want him to get a good accident into La Sauce under any circumstances. So he's been absolutely playing the right game so far. Let's see how he takes up going ahead. But yeah, I noticed that Simply and Maverick, they both did not have particularly great starts. Faizan in particular is someone who has made up a few places. We saw some overtakes going up into Radion on the Camel Straight just before the safety car came out. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Definitely the cars. Okay, we have cars in the pit lane, the stock tire. So that is Aradhya Gupta who's pitting from the race. So he's going to go for a extra long end on the hards, and let's see how this plays off. It's a bit of a risk to take because he's essentially doing an entire race on the same set of tires.
Is he on Inters?
Is he? No, he is on Inters. Aradhya Gupta is on Inters. Is it going to rain?
It does look cloudy, I won't lie, but then it's a big gamble, and I think maybe there's a mistake that he's made while pitting in. Maybe he didn't set the tires correctly, because those are fresh Inters that even if he takes it for one lap, he's going to destroy them.
Actually, it doesn't look like there's any specks of rain on the cameras either. So, have we just got ourselves a Ferrari masterclass from our pole sitter? No clue.
Possibly.
It is a safety car, and if the weather forecast is wrong, I think we do see specks of rain, unless I am mistaken. Is that a speck of rain? No clue.
Maybe that's George with his sweat on your head or something.
It could be that. But that is just the safety car, unless the safety car, and this lap can still pick for a set of softs or mediums or hards, whatever you'd like to take going forward. Probably a hard is the best option. I can see a speck of rain on the camera.
Okay, that's interesting.
Rain. But regardless, he would still be burning his Inters right now. And
if I was Aradhya, I would probably drive as slow as I can. I don't want to get these Inters in a situation where they're overused at the start, right? You just don't want them.
Rain is starting to fall. Aradhya jumped.
Oh wait, I see it as well. It is raining. That may be all. At this stage, I don't think you should even pit. I think you should just continue to see what happens, because if it's raining right now, by the time they're completing the second lap, it might even start bursting. Spa is a very long track. For the safety car to go around, it would take more time. It all depends on whether everyone decides to pit now. Now, if everyone decides to pit, then he's got a perfectly clean track to go ahead and enjoy the rest of this race, honestly, if the safety car comes in.
Yeah, exactly. but no, the safety car is. I don't think it is coming in this lap. But yeah, the rain
No.
has picked up a
Yeah.
little bit,
It's
and cars might just be coming in.
it's a
Yes,
frenzy.
cars are going in. There are some cars who are going to stay out. So it's Sandeep Maridu who's in.
Yeah.
Rush is in, as well as Gangster, and we have got
Mm-hmm.
cars in the pit lane. But there are cars who are choosing to stay out on the track. Alex
Mm-hmm.
is in, and Dark Knight is in. So we've got a split grid here. Some people are
Mm-hmm.
choosing to stay out. Interesting.
Oof. I mean, that call, it felt like an insane call at the start. And I now think about it, commentating on the race at the start. I said, it doesn't look like it's going to rain, but then it's called, Spas called me out on that. So fair enough. We have a very, very interesting race up ahead because now half of the grid is on dry tires or slick tires, and half of are on inters. Again, everyone from those dry running tires. Again, if it doesn't rain too much, those dry tires, those medium stint players can stay out. But I think what they're doing right now is, at least what I'm hoping for is they don't want to overcrowd the pit lane, and I think that's why they've preferred to stay out rather than overcrowd the pit lane and get a longer pit available. I'm not sure if it's going to work for them, but let's see.
All depends on how the safety car plays out. If it comes in this lap, they are absolutely in a cacophony because the rain is picking up. It is
Mm-hmm.
picking up. But how long will it stay? It's a question to
Mm-hmm.
be asked. Cars are now coming together. Safety cars not going particularly fast, and the mediums and the slick tire running cars have been caught up with the cars in the inters. So they are not going to have a lasting advantage even under the safety car. They have
Yeah.
to lap because the rain doesn't seem to stop, and on this track, if the rain intensifies, you cannot drive on a slick. It is like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it is picking up a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you, Andy. You stay on the slicks on this tire, even one lap on the slicks, considering how long the circuit is, one of the longest circuits ever built, right? If you stay for one lap on these slick tires while it's raining,
Safety cars
your
coming in.
race is over. Yeah,
Yep,
perfect.
safety cars in this lap. Four drivers are absolutely unhappy. They will be
Mm-hmm.
kicking themselves as for not going in the earlier lap. But it's a long race. You never know what can happen.
Mm-hmm.
But the pit loss here is 26 or 25.
Mm-hmm.
I can't quite recall it. It is quite a long pit loss here. It's not a very short one because you have curve in and then exit out. It is quite a long pit lane entry and exit combined. So yeah, our top four who are on the slicks not going to be happy about that. Aradhya Gupta is going to be very pleased about his choice, although it gives him no advantage. He's still in pole. He started on pole. He is in a net first position. I want to see how many drivers take the gamble and do not pit. It seems like all four of our drivers have taken the gamble who are on the slicks. They will not pit. And as we go back to green flag conditions, crossing the line, it still shows caution in sector 1. I have no clue what's going on in the game, but I'm pretty sure the cars are racing now. We can see the cars ahead are just struggling to keep their paces. The rain is picking up. We can see Aradhya, who is in 5th right now. He is getting the grip. He is catching up to the cars ahead. Oh, he's just gone a little bit off track. The track not that wet enough for him yet. He will bide his time, but let's see the first proper breaking point. What can they do through Lecom? It's Faizan ahead. There's a little bit of contact, and he's off. He's gonna have to lift there or give the place back. Faizan has to give it back to Ritesh, and that's Ritesh ahead. Yosh leads us from Ritesh, from Faizan, from Pri. Some moves again. Faizan trying to make a move to that corner. They're both sticking it through. Is Aradhya trying to make something to that? You can't go for right here. He'll have to bide his time, and another car has gone off. So yeah, our Ritesh is already off. He will come to the back. Yeah, these cars.
Yeah, if I was Aradhya, I'd be very careful overtaking these cars. Again, it's a wet track and these are... Oof, almost Aradhya loses it in the grass and again, Sandeep Maradu almost collided with him. Sandeep's on the inside, Aradhya's on the outside and they're pushing it through. Oh, there's contact between the two drivers as we see them fight like they're wheel to wheel and they're racing like this. Everything on the line. They all know that this is the fight for P1 and that's what they're going for.
Yeah, exactly. As they head down now into the last bit of the straight where they're going to head into Blanchimont, they want to be careful. Top 3 will have to get into pit lane now, or do they want to survive? Let's see what their engineers are telling them. I think they will have to pit. There is no way they can survive this rain in Spa. And we can see coming to the bus stop chicane, can Aradhya or Sandeep make any moves whatsoever? Aradhya leads from Sandeep in the net, but no, we do not pit. it's a big surprise there, and the lap time difference is is quite a fair bit. As you can see that there is moves going on between the drivers here. Rush is trying to do something with Sandeep Maridu, and Aradhya's got a little bit of a gap from Sandeep now. So Sandeep has someone behind him who has to be careful. But interestingly enough, I see the medium drivers being able to hold on, but the inter drivers not very comfortable. Are we at that weird crossover zone?
I think so. I think the track is not well enough for these dry tires to feel the pain. And honestly, the fact that Aradhya and Sandeep were fighting over there probably gave some breathing to these dry running cars. But then that's over as Aradhya is now completely at the back, and he's trying to go for this contact between Aradhya and Faizan. As we see Aradhya push back, Sandeep Maridu has gone ahead. That was quite an interesting incident. I think Aradhya is going to be quite nervous after that. I don't think he'd want to, get closer to. As we see these, now I think the medium drivers, the medium tire drivers are going to start feeling the pain. They're starting to lose the grip as well. This will not last for these dry tires. As we see for the contact, it's quite difficult for these, inter-running cars to even overtake as these medium car drivers can't hold the grip.
Aradhya just falling back. He's falling back there, and Rush and Sandeep after that contact. You were right when you said that it's going to be incredibly dangerous to overtake these cars who are running the slicks even when you're an inters, because the speed difference, the grip difference is going to be insane. And as we can see, is he going to make a move around Blanchimont? That's Aradhya. Is he going to try and make something into the bus stop chicane? Could not do it at Blanchimont. Is he going to do it around the outside? He's got a car ahead of him, and he's lost some front wing there. He's got front wing damage. He's lost his right end plate of the front wing. That is not going to be happy, and two cars almost crashing in the pit lane are slick runners. That's Dark Knight and Yosh. Something to be looked forward by the stewards. Sandeep in the net lead of the race. He's got a 2-second gap to Pri ahead, but he has some incidents to be reviewed. The rain is picking up.
I mean, we talked about these incidents, but imagine this now. Pri is on mediums, 1.8 seconds ahead of Sandeep. If it continues not to rain too much, Pri may have a blinder put up, but then Pri still has to pit, correct? If I'm not wrong.
It is going to be a bit of a kerfuffle. I don't know. He's just trying to keep a gamble. He's saying, look, I'm already on the flip side of things. As you can see, that Aradhya is struggling. He's got that end plate loss of definitely. There's going to be some aerodynamic loss. Not the right time for me to bring out my aerodynamic technical notes, but let's talk about racing at the moment. As you can see, Sandeep Maridu is within 1 second of Pri through Puhan. Can he try and make a move? Let's have a look. He's getting closer and closer. Will he try and pull a move into this corner? It's going to be pretty easy from him. Dark Knight gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. One can only assume that was for track limits and corner cutting. As we can see, Sandeep Maridu into the lead of the race. Aradhya Gupta will not be happy about that. He was in pole, but he has been denied, and he's trying to deny.
It's over.
It's over, and now he has to pit. He has no choice. He has to move to the grooved intermediate tires. He will now fall like a stone, and he will have to rebuild his race. As you can see, he'll probably be backmarker mates with Ritesh, who's 10 seconds behind. You can see the cars who were on the slicks. They are not in a very good position as it stands. Who stayed out on the slicks at the race at the safety car restart.
I mean, it was a gamble worth taking. There's nothing he could have done. But then again, thinking about the fact, even if he could stay ahead of Sandeep, he still had to pit at the end, and the pit deficit would have killed him by the end. I think they were waiting for another safety car, but then there wasn't enough of an incident. I won't say it was incident-free, but there wasn't enough of an incident that could have called the safety car out, and that's over for Pri. I think he's gonna even lose out to Faizan and Yosh, which again, Faizan was being very cheeky in the pit lane. I think he was trying to see if he could get a free overtake in the pit lane, but couldn't, and maybe he might get reported for that incident.
I think there was Seb in his Red Bull years. He tried to, and he actually pulled an overtake in the pit lane. I can't recall the circuit, but he actually did pull off one pretty cleanly. As you can see, the rain has been picking up. The track is going to get wetter and wetter. Aradhya Gupta is within 3/10 of Sandeep Maridu. We can see some action coming up. Gangster is also within shooting range. Can there be a move pulled into Puhan as they head down there? Who's got more energy? Who's got more grip? Most importantly, who's got more confidence? Can Aradhya Gupta try and pull something? He's gonna follow close by with Gangster not too far away, but Aradhya Gupta does have that downforce loss. He is now in the clutches of Gangster behind him. Can Gangster pull something out of his bag? Nothing doing at the moment. Sandeep is comfortably able to manage his lead, but never say never as we head down into the last couple of corners that will lead you towards Bronx.
Yeah, I think you were right. This circuit is all about getting into the rhythm and the flow of the circuit. And I think Aradhya, after that quite harrowing incident with one of the dry tire, let's say, drivers, is getting into the rhythm again, and you can see him slowly eking out a gap, and he's getting close to Sandeep. I think we'll probably just have to wait maybe a lap or two before Aradhya is confident enough to even go for a move. But you can see him being, let's say, confident in his braking, but losing a little on his exits.
Yup. Now, something interesting, because I want to break out my technical notes, and I will, because as we right now follow, Sandeep Maridu is just 4 tenths away from Aradhya Gupta. Aradhya Gupta is following in close. Because of that end plate loss, he is not going to be able to manage the amount of load that he has to take, specifically through corners that are left-handers more than right-handers. So he will face that load imbalance, which we will see coming into Lecombe. What can Aradhya do? He's too far to pull anything into Lecombe. So these exits are what is really compromising him. He will need to get close enough on the exit of something so that he can pull something down the straight. So that is going to be what he has to do, because that downforce loss is small, but it is compromising him. But nothing doing. He is taking the title line. He is putting in as much pedal to the metal as he can. He's going to get as close to Sandeep Maridu as he can through Puhan once again. That car with the downforce loss, you can see he's wrestling it through the corner, but yeah, that is a little bit of a pinch coming in at every single exit, just like you said.
I think I agree with you that downforce deficit is eking through, and now he's got a question for himself. Does he let Gangster go and actually fight for this win? Does Gangster have enough pace or more pace than Aradhya right now that he would let his teammate go ahead? If I'm not wrong, that's his teammate, correct?
I would think so. Yes, they are of the same league, so yeah, they have to play a the game right here.
Yeah, and again, one more thing that when I think of again, as I speak about Gangster's fallen back. But then again, when I'm thinking of Aradhya right now, he's in a situation, yeah, he's got definitely a downforce deficit. Sandeep doesn't know about it. He's getting very close up onto bus stop chicane. Right now, it's all about pressure. Can Sandeep Maridu face that pressure, keep his car in the track, offer to not go wide? One mistake and it's all over. As you see, he is so close. He's waiting for that one mistake. He's waiting for that pressure to build up, and he's going to go for a move. Is he going to be here?
Yup, that is what, this is the best overtaking spot for Aradhya. He does not have to deal with any of the downforce loss. Sandeep Maridu has a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I think he's been taking some track excursions of his own. So that will be some good news for Aradhya. So he can just be in close quarters with Sandeep and still manage to win this race. Will the strategy change from here? That'll be an interesting thing to see, because this puts Sandeep Maridu back in 4th place if my calculations are correct.
Yeah, no, honestly, you're right. And like I said, it's all about that pressure. If you can handle the pressure, you'll get it through. But even if a car isn't overtaking you, but they're just 4 tenths, 3 tenths right behind you, that just adds a lot of pressure for these drivers. I can understand that this is a wet track. And seeing a driver in your mirrors is not the best thing. You'd always want to keep them far, far away, right, as a driver. And I guess Sandeep couldn't tackle that pressure, made some mistakes, and got a 3-second penalty that's going to cost him the win. Maybe even the podium.
Yeah, and Sandeep has upped the pace. He's 1.3 seconds ahead of Aradhya Gupta as it stands. So he is trying to break that 3 seconds ahead. So Gangster is coming in. Will Aradhya let him go? It'll be an interesting conversation they might have right now, that, okay, you know what, let me go, let me push Sandeep back, and for sure we'll get a 1-2 here. It's our strategic game, because this is not the only track. You are going to be heading to Las Vegas next, and starting there up ahead is important, because you see a gaggle of overtakes coming into the bus stop chicane. Can anything be done with these regional teammates? Nothing doing. They just don't have that close of a delta between both of them. So yeah, they will continue in the same formation as it stands. But looking down the grid, what else is going on? We've got a sizable gap between fourth and fifth. So Dark Knight is 5.7 seconds behind Rush. Alex and Yosh are in sixth and seventh. In eighth is Free. Free has actually made up 2 places despite that last pit problem. So very good from him. And Faizan is in ninth and 22 seconds behind is Ritesh, who I think has really fallen off from the racetrack.
Yeah, honestly, speaking about Pri, I've raced Pri before. Again, Pri is an excellent driver. I think looking at these moves by Pri, you're just thinking of what could have been if he actually chose to go on the right strategy at the right time. He could have probably, fought for the lead of the race, could have fought for P1, but now he has to just concede with getting these, midfielders, sorry, not midfielders, but basically getting P5, P6 at the best in this race. Pri definitely. Oh, there's contact between Yosh and Faizan. Yosh just sends it on the inside. Faizan struggles to avoid that, but again, hopefully he doesn't get damaged as easy. He's going to go for the inside. He's going to go late on the brakes. Does he have enough to get the move done? I guess he does, but oh, there's contact. There's heavy contact between Yosh. They're fighting wheel to wheel. They've got nothing to lose now, and they do not like each other at all.
Yup, and Faizan is a fiery driver. He will not let get a driver. He will not let a single point away. He will take it to the end of the rulebook limits. As we can see now, we are going to end the penultimate lap. Sandeep Maidu will be starting the final lap of the race with a 1.8 second gap to Aradhya Gupta. As it stands, he will still finish on the podium, but he will not be winning. But can he eke out 1.2 more seconds in this incredibly long track? Can he take something out? Can he pull something out? Can he pull the hat out of his bag? Is what I was trying to say here. In the last lap of the race, as I can see, his worst case scenario as it stands is he's going to finish third or maybe fourth. Not fourth at the moment because Rush has fallen back. Yosh has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, collisions, excursions. Who knows what it might have been? But Aradhya Gupta has cut the gap by 5/10 of a second as it stands. We are on the final lap of the race.
Right. One thing I'd just like to mention, can we see the gap to the leader? Because I'd like to see how far back Sandeep Maidu would end up basically if he finishes this race. Just would like to see the leader's gap. Yep. Looking at it, he's gonna lose. He might get P3 basically. He's far ahead of Rush.
He's got a 1.5 second fillip towards P3. So Rush is 4.5. He's got a 1.5 second fillip, but you know what? This is a wet race. Anything can happen. Yeah, I don't see him making up 1.5 seconds to Aradhya unless Aradhya has a big off or he's just lost that pace or made some mistake. So I don't see that happening. But this is a win conceded from Sandeep for whatsoever reason he might have got that 3-second penalty. So the North people will be happy with this. It'll be a 1-2 for them as it stands. But the gap is going up. The gap is increasing.
He's definitely pushing. You can see Sandeep, he doesn't want anything left on his tires. Again, there's a risk to pushing so late in this race. It could make a mistake, but then he doesn't care.
He might just split the drivers from the North. It might be a 1-3 for the North because Gangster is surprisingly close to that 3-second gap. He's at 2.7, 2.8. It's just changing. And let's have a look at where the drivers are. These drivers are heading down into Blanchimont. There's not a lot of time left. 2.9 seconds is the gap between Gangster and Sandeep as it stands. What can Gangster make up any time? This is the time where Sandeep has to give a little bit of time to Gangster. Gangster will want to make up. It's 2.94, 2.985. Let's see what time he crosses the line. And Sandeep Maridu will come across the line. He will take first on track, but after that penalty is applied, he will finish third. He will not be second. Gangster made it just by 5/10 of a second. Our winner is Aradhya Gupta, and coming in fourth place is Rush. Dark Knight, who will fall, I think not quite a lot. Let's see what he does with penalties. Who will be fifth? That's Pri, who is made it up to sixth after that fall back. Alex in seventh, Faizan in eighth, Yosh, who fought with Faizan at the end, ninth, and Ritesh, who has not yet crossed the line, will be the last of the finishing drivers to actually finish this race on the track. Oof, that was quite an exhilarating one, wasn't it, Haf?
Oh yeah, definitely. The final lap was very interesting. Seeing Sandeep visually just push through like a maniac, it was insanely fun. And again, Gangster just eking that gap out by 5/10 is insane. I think he just made up 1 second in one lap, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, he did make he made up the whole second he lost that one lap. So it was
Yeah.
kudos to him. And I think Aradhya did his fair bit of teamwork by giving a little bit of a
Hmm.
helping hand. But you know what? End of the day, kudos to Aradhya. Pole to win, good conversions. The North regions are getting stronger and stronger. So that was incredible from him. Really,
Hmm.
really sad for our drivers, Flaxen Simply and Maverick, who could not finish the
Hmm.
race. They got into that kerfuffle at the beginning, but there are two more races to come. So it's not over till it's over.
Oh, definitely, it's not over. I think Simply and Maverick, they Flaxen, they all just have to have a reset right now. They need to stop thinking about Spa, move on to the next one. Again, as per the rules of the event itself, whatever positions he has finished at now will be their positions going on forward to the next race itself. So Aradhya will start from pole. Gangster will be in P2 and followed by, Sandeep in P3. So these this is what they have to work with. Aradhya's in a very good position. He started in P1, ended in P1. I think he just wants to consistently continue with it towards
Yeah,
Vegas.
absolutely. He will want to keep this pace up. He will want to keep this performance profile up. But yeah, simply Flaxen and Maverick, they have a completely new track ahead of them, a track that actually rewards overtaking and has plenty of opportunities. So that's an exciting one.
Mhm. So basically, we may have to take a short break while the team works hard on getting the grid set up. That would take some time, of course, for them to get it done, but we will be back shortly. All right, so we're back again. There was a short break while we're getting the grid set up, but ideally, what we keep hearing is the grid should be set up, so we should get back to racing soon in Vegas. And while we have some time here, let's discuss the championship. And again, what, Andy, why don't you get us a bit of an idea of what the championship looks like at the start of Spa and what it's heading towards now.
Yep. So we've got two major pockets. One is the West region, which is currently leading heading into this weekend. Obviously, LMU results have not been tabulated yet, but West leads North by a little bit of a breathing space. But they are in one fight of their own, and then we have Southwest and Southeast who are in a fight of their own. They are neck and neck together in points, and East is someone who is gaining as well. We don't have a lot of the East or the Southwest and Southeast drivers today. It is mainly a fight between North and West. But as Pri, who is one of the main contenders from West, did not have a great race in Spa, he will want to make that up. In Vegas, we have quite a lot of drivers from the North. We have Aradhya, we have Simply, we have Gangster, who are all fighting and they will want to get that points tally for their region. So definitely it is something to look forward to coming into Vegas in this world famous trip, in this world famous track, at a place that is quite known as the cesspool of the United States. It is definitely home to some pretty nice bunch of overtakes and racing down the strip.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that. Again, looking back at Spa, basically, that gamble that we took on the dries definitely cost him a lot in the championship. And again, we may see the North cling P1 back again in this championship. It's all about North and West right now, especially for the win. And Pre has been carrying West quite often, as we've seen in the past few races. He's dominated. He's been the guy to lead these events, especially in F1. But now coming out of that race, Pre definitely would want to go for a safer strat, something that gets points on the board and keeps the consistency up, keeps West in the fight against North, which has amazing drivers. Again, we saw a fantastic drive from Aradi. We saw a fantastic drive from Gangster. Simply had a rough race, but that just keeps the championship alive, I think.
Yep. So it is going to be something that they want to play in with their regions respectively. So yeah, that is something they will need to think about. They can't just be thinking individually. But yeah, this track, this circuit is unlike any other venue on the Formula One calendar. It's built around the world's most recognizable landmarks. It's got long, high-speed straights with heavy braking zones and slow 90-degree corners. This is not where rhythm defines a lap. It is going to be about efficiency. You have to brake hard, rotate the car quickly, especially in some unloaded corners like turn one, where you don't want to lock the unloaded inside front right as well. So you want to be careful through that. Most importantly, this is a very, very cold track. So track temp is going to be bone chilling. You will want as much track temp as you want within your tire core and your tire carcass. So that formation lap is going to be critical. As we can see, the cars have a mix of tires. Our front row is on the medium, so North is trying to go with a more conventional strategy. Second row, Sandeep, Maridu, and Fury are both on the softs, but mostly the people at the back end of the grid are taking the softs. There are some changes in strategies. We can see Aradhya Gupta wants to start on the soft now. So it's going to be a bit of a gamble. Personally, if I was racing here, I would definitely want to take something like the soft because the abrasion here is not as much. It's going to be a combination because the asphalt may be abrasive, but the temps won't exacerbate that. That is what my take is. What's yours have? Anyway, going back, as we have seen, the formation lap has begun as Aradhya up in front. His region teammate Gangster is in second. So the cars will want to generate as much track temp as they can. They are going out into turn 2 as it stands. So they will want, and this is one DRS straight where you can make some overtakes if you have messed up your complex of turn 1 and 2. So plenty of overtaking action that is going to come our way for sure. What do you think about the entire strat? Not even just the strat in general. What do you think is going to be the key thing here with regards to tire temp and abrasiveness? And do you think it's an easy gamble to take the soft here because of the low temp despite the high abrasiveness?
I think right now, looking at most of the grid, I think they're more comfortable with the softs. I think they want a bit of that extra grip at the start. I don't think they really care about the abrasiveness. I think they can fight it through, basically, is what they're thinking about it at this stage. Oh wow, that is a very different livery.
Got a bunch of sponsors for this race, I can see.
Yeah, definitely.
Putting advertising to work. This is a world famous track. You'll have all the celebrities, might as well get some of that sponsor money and the visibility, because you'll be running down the world famous strip which we are going now down. It is an incredibly long straight. It is just, you're going to go by Caesar's Palace, by the Hard Rock ad board. You're going to go by so many of these things that you just see in TV shows, and when you go in real life, this is actually a public access road, so you can drive here if you do have that chance ever to go to Las Vegas. It's beautiful. It's not the most friendly place, is what I would say from experience, but yeah, it's an incredible place to go. You've got a lot of stuff, a lot of it is PR, and we can see the cars are now just going on and trying to get that tire temp in. As I said, you need heat these tires, because this is a very cold track, because the track tends to be at around 10 to 12 degrees Celsius in real life, and I'm pretty sure the game will come around something closer than that, and the cars are now forming up on the grid. So let's take through the race starts. I think our cars have formed up and they're getting stuck in the grid boxes. Let's see what's happening right here. I think our final car is on the grid. They're all formed up and ready. The lights are coming on the gantry. We have 5 lights on, and what will go as the flag goes? Our first 2 cars front row have got a good start, but it's Sandeep Maridu who is up into second place. Can he do something? There's a contact with Gangster there at the start, and we can see our 4th and 5th drivers placed are gaining a place as Gangster has fallen down. So we've got Fury who's up into 3rd, Faisan up into 6th, Yosh is up into 7th, Maverick has made it up from the back to 8th place, Ritesh is up into 9th, Simply is still at the back. He's on the main event. There's a car that's gone into the wall. That is Sandeep Maridu, who started in the 2nd row, who had such an amazing race until that penalty last race. He is into the wall. I don't know if it's going to be a recovering race for him. I guess we'll wait and see. But he's at the back now. And this is the 2nd race in a row. We've got a safety car and an interruption in the first lap.
Yikes! Yeah, it's a mixed bag right now, and the North and the West are both in a mixed position at this stage. They're both fighting again. The fact that Aradhya is in P1 is good, but Gangster's fallen back a bit, and Simply still in P10. That's not good for the championship. Oh, we see one of the cars go wide. Aradhya wider than normal, to be honest.
That was British.
Oh, sorry.
He has gotten going again. I think he will have to pit for a new front wing. So I think the race is far from over for him. I think he can make up something for the eastern regions here. But it is North and West who are at the back end of the grid. They are at the sharp end, and they are fighting in the championship as well. They are fighting for championship glory as it stands for the respective regions. It's Northwest, Northwest. So you have 2 West drivers in the top 4. You have 1 Southwest driver as well. But you have 2 West drivers, 2 North drivers. They are all going to want to play the team game as we go on board. Right now we're on board with Ritesh, who has also pitted. I don't know why Sunny did, but maybe Sunny didn't get damage from that. But we will continue on forward. So I think we are not on the safety car. I think racing. Yeah, we are racing. My bad right there. So as you can see, the cars are racing now. Maverick, who has got a beautiful livery, will he try to make a pull? Will he try to pull the move down the inside? He can. Does he judge his braking point well? He does, but that car has gone off the track. He will say it was my corner, it was the apex first.
Sandeep is out again. Is that Sandeep? Yeah, I think that's Sandeep. He had a crash basically, or rather not a crash, but he went off the track and he was stationary for a long time. I'm not sure what happened there. But one important thing that I'd like to highlight is that Pri is in P11. That's quite a disturbing scenario for the championship. The West, I'm so sorry, but the West seems like they're in a tough fight right now because Pri is quite far behind. This would impact his race as we see Gangster going for a move on Fury. The North has succeeded in getting P1 and P2. They're definitely fighting and they're giving it all and they're trying to dominate this event as best as they can. But the West has no answer for the North today.
But yeah, we have got Fury and Dark Knight from the West who will try and take back that second and third place from Gangster as it stands. They will want to claw back as many points as they can. Can Pre do something? He's now in 10th. He's 2.6 seconds away from Simply, who's crawled it up to 9th. I don't know what's gone wrong with Sandeep Maridu, but I hope he can put on a race. That's Dark Knight who's just put up the fastest lap of the race. So Fury and Dark Knight are hot on the tail of Gangster. Gangster has got a sizable gap to his teammate ahead in Aradhya Gupta, who has checked out as it stands with 3.2 seconds to his teammate. But now his teammate is in the clutches of two drivers from the West who want that second and third place, who want that double podium, and they want to claw back points because as it stands, Pre has got a lot of work ahead to claw back as many points for his region.
Oh, definitely. I think right now it's all up to Darky and Fury. They have to step up. They have to do something for their region. Every race can't be Pre's race to dominate, right? Every driver has a tough race. Sometimes, you love the sport, but the sport doesn't love you back. And this is one of those days for Pre. As we see Darky getting ready to see if he can bounce on the driver, he's one thing behind. He's on a hard braking zone, but he decides not to go for it right now. He doesn't feel comfortable enough. As we see him extend towards the longest straight that we have in this calendar itself, we are seeing the car struggling in the straight line speed. Darky, who should be able to get an easy overtake out, should now have a chance as we see him getting closer and closer. But then Fury is falling back. Fury is getting swallowed by the other drivers behind him. As we see Dark Knight get P2 and Gangster fall back to P3. The mediums are working for Dark Knight.
Yep, and Faizan has just fallen behind, and Maverick has made it up to 5th. So Maverick is having a stellar race as it stands. He's moved up all the way from the back end of the grid. He's up into 5th, and you can see cars going here. That's Faizan in his fiery red car. I think he wants that podium so bad, and he's just getting it. But it's 3 wide, and someone's on the left side, and that is our West region driver Fury, who's into the wall as it stands. I think that is going to be a big blow for our West region drivers. That is not
definitely. I have to agree with you. That's a big blow again with Pre that far back. Yeah, that Pre.
Look at the stewards room for sure, because that's 3 wide into the first turn that we saw, and definitely someone's going to blame the other person. And yeah, we'll see what happens there. Simply is up to 9th as stands. That's the same. But yeah, looking at everything, Dark Knight, he's got a hell of a job to do if he wants to catch up to Aradhyan first, who seems to be in his own realm with his pace as it stands. Gangster's got a 1.5 second gap to the car ahead to take back some points. Maverick as well similarly placed. We're on board with Pre, who is within 5/10 of the car ahead in Simply. So yeah, he will want to move a little bit upward, because remember, there's one car who is a little bit down from their region. So let's see what can be done. Can Simply defend his place? Is Simply moving up to 9th? Is Simply moving up to 7th? Will it be 7th for the driver from the North? The North seems to be having a very strong standing here. It's Faizan who's also moved up to 4th in this race as well. So yeah, Pre is in 9th, Fury is in 10th, and Simply is moving up to 7th. North seems to be having an incredibly strong showing. It just doesn't seem to be West's day as it stands.
I agree with you. Again, while we're speaking, we see Pre trying to go for a move. He's getting closer. He's trying to get an in. And he gets that switchback. Amazing move. Again, shows why Pre is one of the best that dominates. He's just got that racing pedigree in him. And you can see that even in this position, he's not ready to give up. He wants to claw back every position he can. This is the fight that he knows he needs to get this as many points as he can. These are the days where you need to push, where you need to get... Do we see Sandeep without a front wing?
Yep, Sandeep seems to be confident enough that this is a track that has just straights. We don't need a front wing, but this is a track that does need that downforce when you brake, and this happens to be a first corner where he locks up. So yeah, definitely not going to be an easy one for him. He's going to have to pit. He's got about 8 odd laps left for him. So as you can see, Fury has pitted. He's come out with fresh set of heart, so he's clearly got some long range strategy running. So on board with Pre, who is now in 6th place, Simply ahead. So Pre has clawed back some places, and I think we can see a top 5 or even a top 4 finish from him. But caution section 2.
There's a blue car. Gangster. It's Gangster.
Gangster is stationary, and Gangster will going to be just going to get worse. I think North has lost one fighter of its own. This is going to change the championship battle. It is going to put West a little bit closer than what they were. I think Luck is starting to play into against North more than play into the sand, which is disingenuous if I say that. But yeah, I think West will smile a little saying that. But yeah, they've got a long race to go.
I think they won't be too happy, but it'll hurt a little less, this race itself, considering Gangsters made that mistake again. They'll basically want as much as they can. As we see, Pre truly determined. He wants to get this move done. He's eyeing for something. He knows Simply is slower. He knows he's faster. He knows that he's got the pace to get more points out, get more positions. He just needs to find the right moment to go for a move. I said the right moment. Is he waiting for the straight itself? I think he may just find that Simply is a little better at exits, but he's got more straight line speed. Is this a move ready making? He's seeing, or he's staying close to the walls. He's trying to see if he can get a move on the inside. Now we see it play out. This is the moment. This is where we can get that position. Will Simply defend hard, and we see one of the Maverick again struggling against Faizan. Faizan goes for a move. He's on the medium. Is this the point where the soft drivers face a pace deficit? Could we see that happen?
Yup. So the soft drivers will definitely need to manage a little bit more, but down that strip, there is 2 kilometers of flat out you will dump your energy. So you need to save it before. So most drivers are on the same conservation strategy. So move before that will be tough. But Simply is continuing up. He is moving up into 3rd place. So we've got cars pitting as it stands. So Dark Knight's pitted, Aradhya Gupta's pitted, Maverick's pitted, Alex is pitted, as well as Pre. So Pre has undercut Simply here as it stands. So yeah, Faizan currently leads the race, not having pitted. Simply as well ahead. Aradhya comes out in P3, which is going to be a net P1 at the end of the race. As it stands, Dark Knight is in 4th. Can we see the hard tire drivers who made an early stop due to some mistakes actually come back into the race? Because of this, I'm talking about someone like Fury, and I'm talking about someone like, we have drivers who have gone on offset strategies. So yeah, as I can see, can we see a gap to the leader to see how how much can he actually draw back from the leader?
While we're looking at that, again, Dark is the only one on the hards right now that's not pitted early, but then he's decided rather than oh, there's contact with the wall. Fury, does he touch the wall there, or is it just my side?
I think it was just a smooch of the wall right there. The leanest of capacity you face in Las Vegas. As we go down right now past the Venetian, through here there will be harvesting the battery to get down that 2 kilometer strip. You will want to dump everything you can, as it will a lockup right there for Sandeep Mari, who is definitely not happy. This race is definitely not going his way. But yeah, I think for the gap truly is 31 seconds. So yeah, he's not in a very good place as it all. We're on board 3. Can he make a move on Sandeep Mari? Both of them dumping their battery. It's just a game of braking, but you know what? Someone doesn't have a front wing, and that is Sandeep Maridu. So easy move for Pre. Pre has moved up, and Sandeep Maridu has moved down. I move to Maridu.
Sandeep has committed to play this race or other race. This this event without a front wing. I think he lost his front wing on lap 2, and since then he's just been braving it out. As we see Maverick make an amazing move against Josh. Quick move for Maverick as he gets that position. A sexy move, I might say.
Yep, that was committed, that was clean, and that was well thought out. We've got a gaggle of cars coming in with some beautiful regional liveries who are all representing their respective regions. North. So let's get around. It's north and west. Then we've got another car from the west. Then again, so it's 3 west from 2nd through 4th. Then we've got north in 5th and 6th. And then we've got southwest in 7th and 8th. So strong showing from southwest as well. We've got Jackson in east in 9th, and we've got Free from the west in 10th, who is trying to claw his way back up. So strong showing from particularly southwest, who are sitting in that sweet spot. They are still in a fight with southeast. They are neck and neck. We've got a caution sector 2. What is that for? We've got 2 cars who are standing by. I think there's been some contact or something that's gone on there, which have to watch. So it's Alex, I think, who's involved in that. But we'll have to see who further.
Yep. Just want to make sure the one thing. I think Pre was right behind Simply when he pitted, but now is in P10. I'm not sure what happened there, but he's lost a lot of places. He was right behind
Yeah, that
Simply, going for the undercut. Yeah, I guess something must have happened on his outlap, possibly. Yeah, no, okay. We see somebody dropping. Is that Dark Knight? Yeah, he's
and
pitted
his Dark
again.
Knight was pitted. He's pitted. He's pitted on a two lap old hard tire, which is interesting. Has he lost a front wing or something? So Simply climbed up to third. It is a front wing loss. It is a front wing loss for Dark Knight. I mean, he's changed his front wing, and he's not to put it very. Okay, let's not use whatever I was thinking to use right there. But yeah, so we were on board with Riosh, who's in fourth. The race has flipped a little bit, but look at that gap to the leader from second half. Just look
True.
at
I
it.
mean, Aradhya's absolutely dominating this race. There's no question about it. He knows he wants P1. He knows he's fast enough to get in, and he's just been proving it lap after lap after lap. And I don't see him slowing down. I think he can eat that gap out to 15 seconds. That's a dominating performance from the north, especially from Aradhya. He's the man for this event today to get the north back up in this fight and lead it. To be honest, there's a caution.
In sector 2 again,
There's
we've
a
got
red car.
cars moving slowly. There's a car that's off. I think that's
Oh, it's Alex.
Alex has gone into the wall there. Oh my god, this is not going great for some drivers here. I think the West will not be particularly happy, but the West still does have 2 drivers in the top 5, but the North has 3 of them. So the championship gap between the North and the West will be smaller than ever. And after calculating LMU results, I think the North will be happy with where they stand. But Simply just put up the fastest lap of the race, and he's within shooting distance of Maverick. Try to make a move down the outside. Nothing doing there. He will want to follow through. He's got plenty of overtaking opportunities coming up. Down the side, will he do it? And no, nothing doing there. I think he was on the wrong car there. That was yours, Alfred and Gangster. So my bad about that. But yeah. So there was some incredible racing there. They kept it clean and they kept moving. So incredible overtakes up and down the grid. Can we go on board clean and see what he's going to be doing right now? So yeah, that's Simply there. He is within half a second of Maverick. He is boosting all the way. He's using that extra megajoules of energy he's got saved in his tank, but now he will want to harvest into that braking zone. You've seen he's using a lot of his recharge limit as well. Now it's all about dumping power, taking that slipstream down this world famous strip. And now as you go down this strip, your tire carcasses are getting hotter, but your cores are getting colder. So your braking performance is not going to be the best that it's been. Most importantly, for the car behind you, are not getting all the air that you want, or the least amount of downforce. As we can see, Simply Whitey has moved up ahead of Maverick. He is up into second place. North is in 1-2 as it stands, and that's contact between Gangster and Yosh again. And Faizan, 3 cars involved. There's a beautiful drift there from Faizan. And Yosh has gone up into fourth. Faizan finds him in a bit of a kerfuffle between cars. So yeah, some.
Yeah, honestly, that basically frees up Pre to take P5. I think that's the best he can do at this race. I don't think he's gonna get anything more unless he shows some exceptional pace at this moment. Faizan and Gangster getting a bit too close to the walls, and unfortunately there was contact which threw both of the drivers out and completely ruined their race. They could have achieved a lot more, but then again the walls are quite thin here in Vegas, and you just have to make sure that every move is calculated, and that was surely not calculated.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to be absolutely well thought out in everything. You make every turn, you make every braking point that you choose. Maverick seems to be doing that, and Maverick makes his move up into second place. Does Simply have a lot left in his tank to make that overtake. He's got a good exit out of there. He's got a tank that's half full, but so has Maverick. And let's see, can he replicate that amazing braking move he made? He's getting close. He's gonna try and make a move. And will it be down pure due to battery power, or will it be due to braking? Let's see what they can do. Can Maverick come back with another bit of slipstream and some energy? Nothing doing there, and Simply is back into second place. But yeah, speaking about Pre, as you mentioned, I thought he would make some headway, but I think the race just didn't go good for him in the middle. There were things where he got caught up maybe on his outlap. I was really rooting for him to get into the top three. But looking at reasons, the North seems to be very, very happy with its performance, and I think has to have been on fire in these events so far this weekend.
I think that was calculated from Simply's, and he left the door open. He knew Maverick would go for it, and then he got an easy overtake down towards the straight. I think, and Darky keeps making moves with Alex as we see down. Yeah, Darky is definitely eager to make some moves as he's on those mediums. Quite surprised he didn't go for the softs, but then again, he's going for a move on the inside. He's gonna get it. Oh, the stop shake. There's contact between the drivers. They're hitting through. There's no heavy contact.
There's a front wing loss. There's a front wing loss. That is Alex who's lost a front wing, and as well as the car ahead. Who's that? Is that Ritesh? I think that is Ritesh. Yes, that's Ritesh who has lost a front wing end plate. I think that's the front right or front left. He's lost the end plates.
That's Alex losing his front. Alex losing basically his front wing as far as I see. And Maverick again trying his best to get some more points here, but Simply just looks the better of the two drivers, honestly. Simply is on the soft tires as well. He's got a bit more grip in this later half of this race, as we see Maverick trying his best with his energy. He's trying to play it. He's trying to see if there's a move on the outside of this corner, but Simply keeps it defended. Maverick can't do much at this stage.
Yup, Maverick has to have some power left so he can make something down the start-finish straight, but you don't want to put your other driver in the wall because he will put you in the wall as well. It is not a one-hit circuit here. If you're taking down someone, you're taking down with him as well. As we go down the start-finish straight, will he try and make a move down the inside? Not close enough. He's going to try and take the grip, go for the cut back to the inside, but Simply keeps it pinned and defended well. He is taking a tight line there, and we can see Maverick is within shooting range, but he is just not able to get that move done and make it stick because he's got Simply who's probably just baiting him into something. So, and that's something interesting going on there. But Aradhya Gupta has extended his lead to 17.7 seconds amidst all this. He is absolutely performing at the peak of his capabilities. And after the win in the last race where he seemed to struggle when he started, he will now take in everything this world famous 1.9 kilometer strip has to offer. Maverick and Simply once again getting too close for comfort. Was there some damage involved there? These two cars will not let each other go, but Simply has a 21-second gap ahead of him to our winner, who is now, prospective winner, who is now heading to the start-finish straight as it stands. He will now take victory for the North as he takes the final corner, crosses the line and takes the victory of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. But the spoils are still not complete as Maverick and Simply Whitey are still fighting it out for North and for West. This is a battle for glory, but it looks like Simply has taken the cake here. It will be a 1-2 for the North, and Maverick will take third for the West as it stands. Let's see what he can do going in. That is going to be it. Pri has moved up to fourth. Faizan is up to fifth. We've got Fury up in sixth. Gangsters somehow clawed it back up to seventh. Flaxen up from the back. Ritesh in ninth. And Simply's gotten disqualified, as it seems that's something that needs to be looked at. But
Unsolved.
Yeah, 10th. And Alex in 11th. That was something to be looked at by the stewards. Might be an issue, but yeah, we'll have a look at the results coming back. Oh, that was a finish. That was a dominant race for the winner and a rather exciting race for the rest of our podium sitters. And yeah, North is going to be very happy with this.
Would they? I mean, I'm not sure why Simply got disqualified. If that was a legitimate disqualification, I think they would be eking out, or rather they'd be probably pissed off that they lost some good points. I mean, there's more to this race right now. One thing I was thinking about as the race was ending, the fact that the stewards will have a lot of incidents to look at. These two events have not been, driver friendly in that matter. There've been a lot of incidents, a lot of penalties to be dished out after this entire event is over. That may change the championship as well. So we'll all be eager to know what happens after this event ends.
Yep, that will be something that we all will be waiting for with bated breath, because if that is a legitimate disqualification, that is going to be a big blow for North. It's going to be a saver. It's going to be a saver in terms of collateral damage for West, as it stands. So yeah, we'll just wait and see what is the decision that is taken. But that was an incredible race. I mean, a lot of contact, a lot of moves. But yeah,
Hmm.
Simply and Maverick, a very good standout performance, I must say, from the back end of the grid in the
Oh yeah.
last race, as well as Simply. I don't know what's up with Pre, but it's like you said, sometimes the sport, you love the sport, it just doesn't love you back. We all have our off days, and we just have to
Yeah.
face it sometimes.
I mean, I think I'd be glad if I was pre. An off day with P4 doesn't sound bad. An off day is with P4 still sounds decent enough. It's damage control completely for the West, but then again, that's the best they can do.
Yeah.
So we're heading on to another short break while we get the grid set up for the next event. We'll see you back there.
All right, so we are back again for the next race, which is Austria, as far as we understand. And again, covering the last race, I think Vegas had a lot of surprises for us. Again, not none for the leader of this event. I think Aradia just had a fantastic race. He had an easy race up ahead. Didn't even sweat any at any stage and looked sublime, as we could say. It was one of those dominant performances that you would never forget. But coming to other drivers again, Maverick, an amazing performance from last to second. Definitely deserves the credit right there. So does Pre for having not the best race, but then doing his best to limit his damage. But this is what is interesting right now is when we head to Austria. Pre is in a good position to actually fight for that championship lead or try to even get that get the gap a little bit more closer because he would be very interested to clear P2 and P3 at the earliest and go ahead straight at Aradhya. That is the fight that we want to look at. Pre versus Aradhya, the fight for the titans of this league at this moment. Will we see a fight till the end? Let's hope as we see our drivers getting ready soon. Again, the West and the North is where it's at. The North has definitely dominated this event, but then we haven't seen let's say we haven't seen what the West could bring till the end. Maybe this is that race. Maybe this is that track where the West can start to dominate again and start to fight more and more at the front. It's all up to Pre right now. He's in decent position. He's in a better position than he was before, to be honest. Will he be able to do it? Let's wait and watch as we are currently waiting for the drivers to get ready. What is your opinion on that, Andy?
I think definitely this is a track where everyone can reset because they're in a good position, but they have got a quali ahead. They've got a chance to start at the sharp end of the grid. So this could turn things around because this as a track is not particularly easy to overtake because you have opportunities to recharge quite a bit and then go on with your battery. So you will want to get a good quali here, and frankly speaking, this track in general is not that bad when it comes to track limits. You've really got majorly two major points where you can. So for quali, we have one shot quali here. If I'm not,
There
there
is
is
no
no
quali at the moment, of course. The positions that these guys finish up and the last race is what we carry on for this race as well. So again, that's why I mentioned Pre is right there in P4. He can make something and heading towards turns ones and turns two. So we'll definitely see something more from Pre in this race. At least I'm hoping for to keep
it's a
this battle
short.
interesting, to keep this championship going. Sorry,
Yeah,
Andy.
yeah. No worries. It's a short run up that hill, but yeah, my bad on that. We don't have a quali here. We are going to start with the positions earlier, which is what we finished with. But do we
You
have an
know,
update on what was the finishing
yeah,
order? Is simply disqualified or will he take
exactly.
second?
That's a good question, and I think we'll have an answer pretty soon enough once we see the grid form up. That will basically answer whether Pre's disqualification stands or does it not. If it stands, then we may see Simply's disqualification doesn't stand, then we see Pre at P5 possibly, because as far as I remember, Simply was just around P2 P3, hovering on
Yes.
P2 P3.
So pre will be P4 if Simply's disqualification stands. LC will be P5. Regardless, it's still a position at the sharper end of the grid for him,
Mm-hmm.
and he can make up spots here. So we can see a podium on the cards, and if luck plays in his favor, a win as well. Around this track, I think what is the what is it about
I
Austria?
am,
What
you
makes
know
it an
what? I
Austria?
am trying to zoom out, and I think I can see P. I think I can see Simply in P2. I think the disqualification doesn't stand. Because I can see that blue car on the left
Yeah.
side of the track right behind Aradhya. So I think Simply is there in P2, and I think that means Simply is going to start from P5. Not the best place he wants to start from, but it's better than P6 and P7 that he was starting before.
So he's going to be starting on the outside of the grid, which is perhaps I think a better spot than P4 because you've got a longer run up. Because on the inside you might get squeezed. So this is the problem. You always want to start on the outside.
I have a different opinion. I'm so sorry, Andy, but my opinion is I remember my first league race. I think it was F1 2021, and it was in Austria. I was on the inside. No, sorry, I was on the outside. There were a few drivers on the inside. What I remember seeing is people missing their braking points and that's ramming into you on the outside. So, these drivers are amazing. I'm not saying they will do it,
but then there's always that risk when you're on the outside that you can just
All
be
about the
rammed by
trust you
anyone.
have between the mates you drive. And I think it's, as you said, you know what, it's a bit of luck that plays into who you are actually driving alongside. If you trust them, you know what, it could actually be a good thing. But yeah, sharp eyes right there. I think simply is not, simply disqualification did not stand. I think that was just a game error right there. So yeah, that was a that did seem quite sudden from the
Mhm.
game. I don't know why, but yeah, we have a good idea of what the grid is as it stands. So pre some spots to make up. I think the West region has to have a strong race in order to complete this trifecta on a happier note than they have. So let's have a look at the grid. That's Aradhya and Pole simply in second. So North takes the front row, locks out the front row. We've got Pre in third position. Interestingly enough,
Where is Maverick?
Maverick.
Has he
Maverick.
been taken? Maybe he's been taken out of the session. Um, we don't know. We'll keep a close eye on to that.
It's nice if he starts third, doesn't it?
Yeah, to be honest, he deserves that position. But then again, I assume the administrators of this event probably are making decisions on the back end. So
Yeah,
that is
and there's
probably what.
a
Yeah.
lot of things to review, so we don't know what's been
How
decided
about
yet as it stands.
how about we decide, or rather, talk about the tires that they're deciding to go upon? What do you think about that?
I think it's going to be pretty simple. You can start here on the soft or the medium. Both tires hold up pretty well. The deck here, the problem with deck here is on the rears. You really
Hmm.
start to slide in sector 2 and sector 3 if you don't treat your rears too well, because you are going to be taking a lot of rear load going into those corners, especially the last two corners. You're depending on your rear, you're pushing all the load towards the rear end of the car. So definitely your rears will start to slide. If I were
Hmm.
here, I would be starting on the medium because I don't want my rear sliding. I would like a stable rear end. But some drivers don't mind a looser one.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's up to the drivers, I think. But medium is the better choice.
I think I have to agree with you on that. I think mediums would be the better choice in this stage. Again, for the reason that you mentioned, keeping your grip stable at the rear is very important. You can lose your car here, and once you've lost it, if you get stuck in the gravel trap or if you just go off to the wall, that'll be the end of it.
Yeah. So yeah, as you said, you know what, the rear stability is important here. So you would want to be on a grippier, you would want to be on a tire that's got some more life into it, especially if you're a driver who pushes the tire a lot. If you're a tire whisperer, I think you can take a gamble with the soft. I think it's just taking some time with the setups and deliberations as it stands. But what is it about Austria that you like in terms of the track having driven here? I'll share mine after yours.
Honestly, this was one of my first tracks that I remember racing on specifically, and um, the best part about this track is I learned how to race on F1 over here. It's a simple track, but then it's also technical, especially towards sector two with those basically those flowing parts of the circuit, and then moving on towards the final corners. This track is one where, yeah, like you said in the first one, you need rhythm, you need to understand the heavy braking points. You need to make sure that you don't lock up, that you don't miss your braking points, because it could be deadly or it could definitely affect your race in the worst way possible. But this is one of those beginner friendly tracks, in my opinion, at least the ones that I started learning upon.
Yep, that's right. It's a beginner friendly track, but surprisingly enough for me, it was not. And we have the cars on the grid. They will be taking the start. And Pre is starting in third. Faizan is in fourth. Fury is in fifth. Gangsters in sixth. I think we've lost a few cars probably due to some issues on their end. Flaxen in seventh. Ritesh in eighth. Dark Knight in ninth. And Alex in 10th. Sandeep Maridu is at the back. He's at the last car on the grid. But Pre is in third. That should be advantageous for him. He will be on the outside still. He can make a move
Hmm.
and possibly scroll up these cars in the north. I think the west will need to push its luck here. So we've got Pri and Fury who are quite close there in third and fifth respectively, who can push and make the case for the west, but the front row is locked out. I think these two drivers, Aradhya and Simply, will be playing a team game. They'll cover each other off.
Hmm.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Pre does. I think he will. I don't know. Will he pull some heroics? Uh, Depends. I think he would, because you really want to get the lead here, because you don't want to have two teaming cars ahead of you, because that's going to be a hurdle to cross.
Honestly, I feel like All right, so we just had an update on the delay. It looks like again, Singh had some setup issues, basically with the black screen or something along those lines. That's what caused the delay itself. But now we are heading towards the formation lap. So again, quite interesting to see what. Whoa, okay, we got some DSQs. I think the server just rather DSQs are because of the formation lap not being followed correctly. Fair enough. I got caught off by that. Andy, take ahead for this race.
Yep, as we can see, the cars are forming up on the grid. We're on board with Faizan here, who's sitting in 4th place. He's on the inside of the grid, which is something I don't really like, but Have seems to disagree with me, but we have our counterintuitive points. As he said, it depends on the driver, and lights are coming on the gantry. 5 lights on there, 5 lights are away, and cars are driving. First and second team have gotten a good start, but Pri is trying to crawl his way, and he has not been able to make much move. But as Faizan, was trying to make a move there, the top 3 remain as it stands. Not a lot of moves coming into this as we climb up the hill towards turn 3. Can we see Pri make a move to the inside? He cannot. No move right there. We see a car that's locked up just behind Faizan. That's Fury. Got some kerfuffle, got some end plates flying around. We've got contact at the back end of the grid, but not a lot of movement up ahead in the front. Aradhya and Simply still lead us away, and we've got lockups from Fury there. So yeah, close contact, cars quite close enough, and cars going side by side through this corner. Pretty exciting. But yeah, not a lot of move into turn 1, 2 or 3 for that matter.
Oof, oh, somebody's gone off.
Who's off? That is going to be Alex who's gone off. That's Alex. Pri has plummeted down. Where's Pri?
What issues are we having?
What a weekend for our drivers.
All of them are in the bottom.
Going absolutely bad here. It's not good at all for them.
Yeah, the North is having quite a bit of a shit show. They're all quitting. They definitely look to be with some damage of some sort. I'm not sure, but the North. Oh, okay. Yeah, they looks like they've DNF'd. I'm not sure what's happening here. We will keep you updated about the situation, but the racing still continues ahead. As we see Radhya again in the lead, simply. I mean, is it that the North has decided that they have enough of this, enough of this event that they've decided?
The North is doing quite good actually. I think.
I'm so sorry. I am absolutely sorry. I may have some slight.
Top 5. The West has taken its day off.
Sorry. Yeah, apologies for that confusion. I think I probably didn't focus too much on the regions itself, but yeah, the North is having a great race right now, but the West has decided to boycott this final event as my assumption at this stage. I mean, it's been a tough one for the West, but then the North have proven that they've definitely deserved to take the win. Aradhya's got insane pace as we see Simply fight. Again, there's some friction between teammates. I love it when there is a fight, but then Aradhya seeing if he can get the switch back down towards turns 4, if I'm not wrong.
This is a race for personal growth, not for regional anymore, because they know that biggest competitor, the West, is out of the race, and there's literally nobody from the West here. So now they're just fighting for themselves as people. And as racers, there's a lot of ego, but no space for an ego because Faizan is taking all that, and he's gonna move up to second place. And now he's gonna chase down Aradhya. He's got late, and Faizan just clicking his rear there. He's got a little bit of stability. Now around this place, will Simply try to make a move? Nope, he's not going to. He's gonna play it safe. And he's gonna make a move down the straight to stump his energy, take it down the outside or the inside. Let's see what he can do, but Faizan has sneaked his way between the 2 drivers from the North. Southwest seems to be having a good showing to extend their advantage to whatever little they might have, but yeah, Simply is just going to take the DRS, cruise beside Faizan, which is not going to be quite an easy cruise, but let's see what they can do coming to the braking zone. Yep, 1-2 established again, but not without contact. I mean, when you're racing Faizan, I would always say keep your guard up because this guy, and no offense to him, he's a fiery racer. The things with being a fiery racer is that he will not yield, so you have to keep your guards beam when you're racing Faizan.
So that translation for that is basically 2019 Max Verstappen. You either concede the position or he'll crash it.
Yeah, yield, crash or yield. It's either of these two. And Faizan has moved down to third, so yeah, he's still taking the fight. I think he wants that victory. He wants to get as close as he can there. Gangster's got a significant gap up to the podium, so these three who are going to be fighting, I think, for the steps on it as it stands. But yeah, I
Noted. So
up then we've got North fighting each other, simply moving again. A bit of a lockup from Araja there, so these two are fighting. I think these two will have a bit of a fight, and that might let Faizan by. Faizan should just probably bide his time and make his way out from here, to be honest. But yeah, I have got this.
I mean, honestly, I don't think Spice-An's the driver to give up on this. He would definitely want P1 if he has it in his, in front of him, and he's using a lot of battery. I don't even think he's giving a thought to saving any of it for the later half of the race itself. And he's a fiery driver. But the fact that Simply is in P1 right now is very interesting. Aradhya is quite close. These two are not really playing the team game. I don't think they care about it right now. I think they just want to get glory out of it. And it's also quite amazing for Simply to be close to Aradhya. Aradhya's dominated the last bit, but that's not to say. As he goes for a move on the inside, covers Simply so well. Simply's locked up, but he's not hit his driver or hit his teammate. It's very close as they head towards the next few corners. Again, will Simply go for the inside? Will Aradhya defend heavily? It is close as we see another lockup from Simply. It's getting very serious for these two drivers up ahead.
Yep, as you can see, they are just leaving no room for each other. They are fighting, but will their fighting actually lead Faizan by for a victory for the Southwest in this weekend, which has been absolutely dominated by the North so far. Even Aradhya has won both the races, and will it be Aradhya who wins the third one? But Simply does not want to let that. His first race was dismal, but his second race was a good one. It was a strong one. I think he wants to convert that pace, that performance level into a victory in this race, and he does not want to give anything up. But neither is the car behind him. It's a red car. It's a fighting car.
that's
It's a fighting driver, and as I speak, he's just taken Simply out. Simply. He's not very happy with that, and Faizan might just be heading for something with the stewards there. So he's conceded again to Sandeep Maridu. Sandeep Maridu seems to be making headways unexpectedly. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's Ritesh. That's Ritesh basically fighting with Sandeep right now. So Ritesh is able to take certain lead after the incident. And Ritesh is going for a move on the inside. He's on the classes. Bit late. Is he going to be able to make the corner? He's gone deep. And Sandeep Aradu's got him back. But then they're still fighting. Oh, it's been close. It was a really risky move for Ritesh. Is he going for another one? He thinks about it. But he thinks better of it. Thank God. Otherwise, we'll see another issue. Oof, it's getting close.
yup, and that was certainly hair raising there. But yeah, Sandeep and Ritesh, Sandeep particularly making a comeback since race 1. Race 2 was not the best of races. But
Oh,
then
that's contact.
that's again gone wrong. I think he's just been pushed off. Then he's fallen back down. Ritesh bumped out. Sandeep has just pitted, I think, right now. He's got 10 laps. I think maybe he can make something up. But yeah, and Simply has made it up to second. Interesting.
I think
So,
that contact between, if I'm not wrong, that contact between Ritesh and Sandeep, right?
that was not there. Sandeep had to go second. So
Yeah.
that allowed Simply to get a pass. But yeah, that kind of shoots in the leg when it comes to getting that victory. So he will need to put something strategically in order to pull this
I
up.
have one huge question. How strong is that wing for Ritesh that he's decided to stay out? Is his wing even got damage on it? I'm not even sure. I mean, if you can get a look at Ritesh's wing, maybe we might be able to get something out of it. But this is that race for the North that they could screw it up easily if they wanted to. Luckily, I was just thinking about it before Simply incident, if they keep fighting like this, as a manager or as teammates of a region, I probably want to make sure that we both survive the race. The last thing we want to see, as we see a move from Gangsters, Flaxen is very slow out of the corners. It looks like he has no downforce through those corners itself. His We see Gangster making his way up to P5. That would basically lock up the, if he gets this move done with Alex, that would lock then the downforce on this car, and the way the pace that he has is insane. I mean, there's no fight from sorry, Alex's car at this stage. As we see Gangster trying to go for a move, and he take over. Well, so yeah. No. I mean, the Gangster was able to get those moves. Quite a weird race, to be honest. But basically, the North has completely dominated the first four. The first four positions, and I don't really think Alex is going for a move right now as he dumps all his energy, breaks a little late, gets the move done. But oh my God, that's a switch back from Gangster. Our rather.
Too deep, he's taking it too deep, and yeah, he lost it. But caution sector, we've got a slow-moving car. I think that is can't recognize. I think we've got Sandeep Maridu, who has just retired from the session. There. So and as well as Flaxen, we've got only 6 cars racing. I simply Whitey has retired as well. There seems to be problems.
Interesting. Are they resetting the lobby? Is my question.
It could
Are they
be
resetting the lobby?
I think we'll need to wait and hear back from race control and what they say.
Definitely.
Yes, we've just heard from race control they are going to restart the race lobby. So we will get to see fresh 18 laps of racing from the start once again. So let's break things up.
What do you think? What do you think after seeing that short race of Austria? What do you think happens in the restart, Andy?
I hope turn one's going to be a little better. I think Pri will learn that, you know what, let's put some points. Let's see what we can do. This is a second shot. He's going to get a second shot at it. And I don't want to see him miss out. I think this is a redemption of sorts that you can get for East. And North will be not very happy because it kind of ruined their chances of taking a good step ahead in the Regions Cup. But yeah, we've got a good race ahead of us, I think.
Yeah, giving well, rather let's just take a short break while we come back. But then we will be back again with Austria, guys. It's another chance at the North to defend the lead and the West to come back, and we'll be waiting to see that too. All right, perfect. We are back again, and this time we've got the lobby reset for Austria. Just to give some context to our viewers, because I know it's a little confusing, even we were confused, but basically what happened is one of the West drivers had an issue during his setup. Basically, he got a black screen due to which he could not load in, and he's having terrible issues. And the West drivers, basically pre Fury and Dark Knight, decided that they would like to have the race restarted. Trying to restart this race was a little difficult as the coordinators basically denied it. And they tried to plead their best to the coordinators, but the coordinators decided not to. And in their anger, they basically suggested that if this situation, with the fact that they're going to drive it down, if this isn't rectified, then simply DSQ from the last race should also be reversed, and basically simply should be pushed back to the end of the grid. Considering all the points brought across, the coordinators finally decided in the middle of the race to restart the session, due to which we now are having this restart. So the West are back. They did boycott in that last race, but then that since the decision has been reversed, they're deciding to fight again, and it's all back to square one for them as we wait until these drivers, reset, reevaluate the situation, and retake the race. Basically, again, this is great news for Simply as well to a certain extent, because he's had that crash with Faizan and some other incidents that they've had in the past race, which were clear penalties. But now, now we don't see all of the best players. We only see Dark Knight. So that is very interesting. We see all of them starting on the mediums, I guess, except for Sandeep Maradu. I guess they realized that the mediums is the best tire to start at. But wow, the formation lap is out, and we don't have all the best drivers. We still don't have Pre the Pro, and we don't have Fury. We just have Darky. So I'm not even sure if okay, they're definitely restarting again. Mhm. There's another issue. This game is one of the best games I've ever seen. I love you, EA. Don't ban me, and we'll be right back after this short technical break. All right, so we are back again. This is the third lobby restart, but this is, I'm being told, the final one, as we've basically started with a fresh lobby. The last lobby, as we could have guessed, was glitched. We've tried to rectify that, and Andy's back again with me. So Andy, what were your thoughts about the first one and the boycott as well from West?
I think a lot of solidarity shown with the boys there. So that was a good strong showing that even among racers we have unity that's going to remain. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this race because now drivers have an understanding of what is going to be there off the line. So we might see some drivers take some heroics. So I would like to see which drivers take a little bit of a brave approach and some who just continue on the conventional manner as they have been thus far.
Fair. I mean, even I, you know, every time there's a lobby restart, it's quite nerve wracking, especially for me when I was racing again, because you never know what could happen. Once you're in the rhythm, completely getting out of it and then getting back into that same headspace, it's a difficult thing to master. But then these drivers are quite used to it now, considering this game, as amazing as it is, definitely has some issues. So this is one of those situations. As even I'm zooming a bit, I can see that the West is racing again. I can see a lot of gold there. Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. Yes, we finally have the West back again, back in it. Aradhya Gupta in P1, Simply in P2, Rush Singh in P3. Finally, his issues are fixed. Pri in P4, Faizan in P5, Fury in P6, Gangster in P7, Ritesh in P8, Darky in P9, Alex in P10, and Sandeep Maridu in P11, closing the grid. As we see, most of them are running on mediums. I think the first lobby itself signified that after 4 or 5 laps, the medium tires are definitely the tires you want to be on, and that's why everyone's going for those tires at this stage.
Yep. So they've got all the learnings, and yeah, the medium is the better tire to start around here. So yeah, they're not wrong. But Pre will now start in fourth, not in third, which was the case earlier. Virash had a problem, but yeah, it's good. I think Pre might have an understanding of how he can use that inside line now. Maybe
Mhm.
dive bomb. But yeah, the North ones will obviously play the team game. But as we have seen, you know what? If they're going up ahead and they have a gap, they're not going to play the team game. They're going to play the individual game. So let's see how it goes.
I think if I was probably with the North, or rather teaming with the North, I would probably want to keep it quite clean in the first two, three corners. I wouldn't want to give the West a chance to eat that gap and start challenging for P1. I think I want teammates to remain teammates and play the strategic game. To be honest, that's how I would play too. And here's the important question that I keep on asking myself right now: is will Rush let Pre the Pro go ahead and essentially fall back to P4 to give Pre the best chances to dominate, or rather go after Aradhya? Because we've seen that in the past few races, and not particularly this event, but in the past event, Pre was the one dominating. Pre was the one that is the leader, more so in pace for that group. So will they move aside and let Pre take the fight to Radhya? That's another question there.
Yep. So I think it'll be a case of okay, I will either A, he lets him buy immediately, or he probably tries for the first turn and then lets Pre buy, which is kind of counterintuitive because Pre might have suffered the opportunity cost by then. So I think the smarter thing would be here, you want to play the team game. It's not been a particularly great weekend for the West, so yeah, you should just give him not give him way because that would ruin your own start, but just don't fight him a lot. Give him enough space if he wants to take the inside, and cover him off from the back so that you don't let other people come into that space. This is what I'm thinking, coming from a driver point of view. I have obviously not driven for quite a while in any league or social, but having been on the pit wall end of things and understanding how these things are going and your pace and your best chance here is kind of at the start. So yeah, you have to sort of give way, not
Yeah.
Art.
Yeah, I think thinking about the situation. I mean, the stakes are on for these not drivers. I mean, to fight for this restart shows how much is on the line, and they're ready to fight till the end. As we move on to the restart, it's up to you now.
Yep. We have the cars on the grid now, forming up for the race. The lights are coming on to the gantry. Lights in Austria. And clutch bites out, and everybody's shifting up. And we've got Pri, who's moved up in third place. Can he dive bomb simply white into this corner? No, he can't, but he is up into third. A little bit off track. Is that Faizan, who's just made a move up into third? Faizan has moved all the way up to move up from where he was, but that was unexpected. Now it's back to Western drivers are fighting each other. Faizan is back into third, and that's a driver who's come all the way from the back. Ritesh has just dive bombed from nowhere. Sandeep Murray tried to make a move up, fell down again. But we see now the North are still leading in a 1-2 formation. Faizan has come out of nowhere, and that is Alex, who has caused quite some damage to the cars ahead. To Rush and Fury there, that will not be good in this cool swim at all. But yeah, the cars in first and second are slowly eating out the gap, and Faizan is just, as I like to call him, the kebab nati at the moment. He's just that irritating car in the middle, and the West is not really happy.
Yeah, honestly, looking at the damage spill out, I feel like Ritesh had a front wing damage, and Ritesh is off. He's lost the car. I think he's lost his gears, and he basically slid off. Ritesh is having a very bad race, and honestly, I felt like his front wing end plate was also gone, considering he had contact. As we see, simply fighting, Aradhya Gupta simply again wants to get that win. He is not ready to let Aradhya run with it. Aradhya is now trying to see if he can get a move down towards turn 4. He's with DRS, and he's going to use all of his energy to get that move done, but he's a little bit too far away right now. That infighting with Aradhya may invite Faizan into the fight, is what Bailey starts thinking about.
This is a repeat again, because even last time I think it was Faizan who was in third, and he was looking at the cars ahead. So are we seeing a repeat again? And that's the gangster who's trying to make inroads into the fight ahead with Sandeep and Rush and Alex, who are in close formation. He's just taking the car. You can see the car getting moved to the rear. He's driving it completely from the front to the very sensitive front end. You can see the car is spirited, and he's very close to the car head. Simply just put up the fastest lap of the race. What can Fury do as it stands? Can Fury make a move down the inside or outside? Nothing's happening right there. He's gonna get DRS, but so is the car head. So we've got a DRS train forming here. Simply and Aradhya are brawling, and this is inviting Faizan into the fight. And trust me, I want to invite Faizan.
As far as I remember last race, he ended up, killing simply. So will we see a repeat of that?
Yep, and we've seen Sandeep Murray to make a move on Alex through that corner under braking. Beautiful move there from Sandeep. He's now making inroads to the top 5, because he's got a 2.2 second gap to clear to get to Rush, who's in P5. But 1.5 tenths to 2.5 tenths is what is separating our top 2. But Faizan seems to be getting closer than ever. He is watching in close quarters, but Pri is not too far ahead. They are all close together. Anything can happen as it's stands.
This is a 4-way fight for P1 right now. As far as I can see, Simply and Aradhya fighting have brought Faizan and Pri back into this race. They're going for it all. Faizan's got DRS open, so is Simply. Aradhya is the one that doesn't have, is the only one within the 4 that won't have DRS open. Simply's getting closer. Oof! Aradhya locks up a bit. Will he go wide? Not wide enough, but then Simply to take that position back, and Faizan to maybe grab something over. Oh, there's contact between the drivers, Fury and Alex. And Darky has taken the position from Fury as he heads towards getting that position from Alex. And we see Gangster also getting the position. Fury's off-center, to be honest. He might be a little nervous after that contact with Alex.
Yep, absolutely. And that was... Yeah, there was some interesting bits of action there, a bit of contact. But yeah, the top 4 are definitely fighting for that win. And Aradhya seems to be holding them off. I am very surprised now he's holding Simply off, because Simply seems to be voracious in his attempt to take P1, and he's trying to take a different line, but Faizan is getting dangerously close to him. Will Faizan attempt something down the inside, or will simply attempt something down the inside? None of them are too close or safe enough to do something. But yeah, let's see what is happening going on, and is that simply he's going up the hill and he has taken P1. Will Faizan be able to make a move down the inside? Nope, he's too far. He's gonna make it under acceleration here. So let's see what can be done here. That's Dark Knight making a move on Sandeep there. He's making a move on Alex. Alex has made a move on Dark Knight, my bad. And Sandeep's up ahead, up the road. But yeah, we've got a swap for the race lead. But still, the North leads, and Faizan is in close quarters with Aradhya. Can he make a move down the inside? He does. He takes it down the inside, and he is in second at the moment. Can Pre try and sneak something? Because now Faizan is absolutely setting his sights on P1 in Spielberg. Pre is in incredibly close quarters to Aradhya. Can he make a move for the podium? Let's see what he can do. Coming out of the penultimate corner, can he do something in the final corner? He's just losing that as he steps out on the exit. These cars are so close. He can follow closely enough, but it's so hard to overtake when every driver has DRS. We've seen a carpet that's Gangster who has just pitted for a fresh set of tires.
Faizan and Simply are fighting. I'm so sorry, Faizan and Simply are fighting. I'm not sure, to be honest, what's going on. We're seeing people go 3 wide. Pre is back in this again. Faizan is fighting. Oh my
God. In the second. Oh no, there's damage. Who's lost something? Someone's lost something for sure. Can't recall who it is, but Faizan's up in the second. Simply is down to fourth. I think he's up in third now. Will Simply try to do something on Pre down the outside? No, there's contact there again. But Pre's up into second. Faizan down to fourth. Aradhya Gupta meanwhile has carved out 1.5 seconds. The driver who's won race 1 and race 2 is looking for a commanding victory, but the race is far from over. Well done.
Oh, there was contact between Faizan and Simply. They're definitely giving it all. And will there be more contact as Simply's going on the inside? Faizan has no answer for Simply space right now, but then Faizan is not gonna stay back as he's trying to go for a move on the inside of the next corner. They're side by side going towards turns 2. Oof, this is getting very, very interesting between Simply and Faizan, and it's also inviting Rush Singh back into the fight. Pre's gone ahead. He's storming through. He's 1.2 seconds ahead of Simply now. He's going after Aradhya Gupta. That is the fight for the win. Aradhya has no pace, not the same dominant answer as he had in Vegas. We see, Pre locking up ahead as we see this fight for the lead get interesting.
Yup, it has definitely spiced up a lot. Pre is getting close. We see cars locking up constantly in turn 3. This in particular is a breaking point that's not quite easy to hit, because we can see now cars, especially Simply, Faizan and Rush, are in a kerfuffle. They're close enough, but they are making moves that might seem a little too dangerous there. Simply will want to get back on the podium as of right now. He's been shuffled off of it, but Pre is within 3/10 of a second to Aradhya Gupta. What move can be made for the race lead as it stands? Pre, who has not had the best of weekends, will want to take this victory. Aradhya has pitted. Aradhya's pitted, so that gives Pre the net lead. But Aradhya is on a soft and Pre is on a medium, so you have to remember the two different strategies, and Pre will be switching to the faster, the grippier soft tire when he does pit, whereas Aradhya will be on the medium when he exits. So there's going to be that offset which needs to be considered. So it's Pre from Faizan, from Rush, from Dark Knight, and I think both the North drivers, as Aradhya as well as Simply Whitey, have pitted for their tires. They're both at medium.
Yeah, the soft tire was not the primal decision, or rather, not the correct decision to take. Both the drivers lost insane pace and invited trouble from the medium set drivers. It looks like the race for Pre to win. It's all there for him, and saying, yeah, Sandeep is in P8. He's gotten ahead of Simply. That's very interesting. The fact that Sandeep got a bit of a better pit stop. Honestly, I'm not sure what happened, but Simply's having a terrible race. It went from great to worse, and now he's quite frankly right in it to get a podium position out of it. If the non-drivers pit, we'll see and we'll keep you updated. Rush has come in finally. He's the first, along with Faizan and Darky, is the first of the
but Pre there, I think he will come out within a second of Pre when Pre does pit. If he does not if he stays out for exactly a lap more, that's what my numbers are
They've gone
telling
on
me.
hearts.
They've gone on hards. Hards are very
Yeah.
twice because I mean you've got to 9 more laps, but hards are incredibly hard tire. I
Yeah.
don't know to wake up
On,
on this circuit. So
honestly, it's I'm so sorry, but it's too early for softs. I think. Honestly, wouldn't you agree with it?
yeah, it's too early for top, but you can go on to a medium. I mean, you'll struggle around lap 17 and 18, but you
No.
could do that if you
I'm so sorry to interrupt here, but they were already on medium, so the only thing they could go on was a softs or a hard. I think they should have stayed on for a few more laps and then directly gone on to the softs.
No. I'm talking about the drivers who are already on the medium. Yeah, you're right. My bad, right there. So I think see, for softs, the operating range here is that you will lose that grip, right? So ideally, you should pit around lap 10 or 11 if you want to get a soft. Because if you're going to do 9, you are going to start losing and you're going to start gaining around lap 15 onwards. That's if your driving style is decent enough. So Irra Singh has just got a 3-second time penalty. Breeze still holding. I think he's going to pit around lap 11, just on the 11th or 12th lap, and he's going to take 6 laps offset for that soft tire, so that he fire that up and push all the way. Can we have a look at what is the gap to the leader? So you can see some moves going up between Faizan and Alex up the hill. So that's pretty exciting.
What is the
Uh,
pit stop time? The roll time for a pit stop?
It was here is a 24-second lap.
Okay. So by that calculation, he should be 5 seconds behind Aradhya when he comes out, possibly behind Faizan. Correct? It's 3
He
pits.
could come out just behind Simply if it's now. He'll just come out just ahead of Simply. Just not 25 seconds is higher end.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh my god, Pre gets a 10-second penalty. Speeding at the pit lane.
Penalty that is going to
Destroys his race completely.
he's not even going to serve the penalty now. He's going to have it on track. Oh.
Damn, that's the end of his race, to be honest. There's no chance he's gonna win from here now. Now it's all up to Aradhya and Simply to basically get it done.
Is also a question that's going to be asked. But Aradhya is leading as it stands. I have no words for Pre. He's been trying so hard, but that last off into the grass, I think, sort of set off his speed, and he was not able to get to the speed limit in time, and that has really ruined his race. I don't think that's going to be a great ending for him. It's going to be a debrief. It's going to be a trifecta of very disappointing race results, somewhat damaged from the early races. But Ritesh has got a time penalty as well. So yeah, that's Faizan is second at the moment, who's been having a pretty consistent and good race so far. I'm very surprised with how Simply Whiteley has ended up sixth.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Again, it's been a mixed front wing change is what we hear. Probably he had contact. I remember I said that he had contact with Alex where he lost his front wing and played, and probably that pit stop basically pushed him back. One thing that I like to say is Pre has the difficult task of overtaking Faizan right now. And again,
It's a difficult task. It's a particularly scary task.
yes, exactly as I was saying. So now he has to overtake him because he's got to build a gap as much as he can. And he's done it. As far as we see, Faizan is not there anymore. He's got the inside line and he's got the move made, but Faizan is still trying to fight it. He's on the outside. Wow, he's got some good straight line speed. He's pushing all the energy that he has. He is still stuck there on the inside, though. He won't let this position go through. They got locked in a bit. Pre is in the inside, but decides to let the position, or let Faizan keep the position as they're both fighting till the end.
It's through here, these corners, you have to have the traction to be able to follow the car close enough to the straight tracks, and then you can take it up down the finals, down the start finish straight. As you can see, he is close but not close enough. He needs that gap because as it stands, otherwise he's not even going to finish. He's just going to finish at the tail end of the points, not even the top 5. So we can see Aradhya stretching his gap from Faizan. It's almost 4 seconds now, and I can see Aradhya taking a trifecta of victories this weekend and putting not firmly to the front as he is just trying to push his way from Faizan ahead. Because Faizan knows he's not fighting for second. Unless something goes his way, he's not going to be fighting for that victory. Will Pre make a move? Nope. I think he'll just bide his time. He'll take DRS. He's got battery. But Faizan is not going to yield. He'll have to be able to pull one over him in order to go ahead. But he's not just going ahead. He has to make a gap, and if he sees a gap, he goes down the inside. But can he make it through? Sandeep Marido, interestingly enough, is up to fourth place.
Yeah, Sandeep's had a decent race, to be honest. He's shown his pace, and firstly, he's not gotten any single, penalty, or not penalty, but then he's not gotten a time penalty, to be honest. And he's keeping himself clean because he knows that once Priest 10-second penalty. Oh, there's a caution. There's an issue with one of the Southeast.
That's been resolved.
Yeah. Possibly there was a slip up for one of the drivers there, but basically Faizan now has to just keep a 10-second gap to Pri, and that would guarantee him a P2. Aradhya right now flying on his own. He has no care in the world. Oh, 10 second for corner cutting. Safety car out. Who's out? Which driver? It's Ritesh along with who? Okay, this is interesting. I'm not sure what happened here, to be honest. We'll have to wait and figure out who pits. And the big question: will pitting right now for Pri getting that 10 seconds out help? To be honest, do you think?
Absolutely. I don't know how he's holding. Someone's car has just lost the nose cone, but the front wing seems to be intact. I don't know how that's holding up. Some voodoo physics.
Hogwarts. That's the answer, I guess.
Wingardium Leviosa. You have in the car.
Big Wingardium, give me downforce without front wing.
I think Sandeep needed that last race.
Yeah, but then I'm not sure this is working for Simply. So sorry.
I think it'll be smart enough for Pri to pit, get rid of that 10 seconds because everybody else is pitting. So I think he might actually be a big beneficiary out of this. Although he'll be at the back, clear from a penalty.
F1, the technological marvel. you can have a front wing levitate. Technology. Oh God, this is
the longest 10
basis.
seconds of his life for Pri right now.
Oh man, Pri has to fight. He has everything to to get out. Oh my God, yeah, you're right. There should be only one lap of racing, but honestly, a driver like Pri, just give him one lap and he should get it done. I'm pretty sure he's gonna come behind Darky. Yeah, he's
ahead of
right behind
Starkey.
Darky.
No,
Sorry,
he's-
ahead of Darky. Yeah, sorry.
So this is better for him because net
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I calculated he was going to finish P8. Now he's P6.
Yeah,
He has the
definitely.
potential to be P5 or P4.
Interesting that Rush has decided to stay out to keep the track position. Is he planning to do some jihad today? we
Hard
don't know.
tires. I think he's got
I'm honestly thinking about that decision. It's going to be a Leclerc 2022 today that we see. Maybe we see through goes Hamilton. We don't know, but
I digress. We've got Faizan. I think I'm worried about Faizan, not even Aradhya.
I mean, Aradhya should be worried right now. He's got Faizan right behind him, and Faizan's
Exactly.
back record at this circuit is not great. He took out Simply. He may take out Aradhya, which would give. Yeah, Simply's nose is back into its rightful form. No more magic from the North team. To be honest, Simply I think has had a terrible Austrian Grand Prix. The first race he had contact with Faizan, and the second one his nose decided to quit on him. So let's see what happens with this safety car restart. Will we have 2 laps of racing? I think we may. We may get 2 laps of racing, to be honest.
If we're lucky enough. Interestingly, I mean, you know what? In real life, and at the British Grand Prix, it was interesting. I don't know. I think most of you may have heard of it. But the reason the safety car never came in the British Grand Prix was because that safety car was a software error on the side of the FIA. And since we're gaming on something that already had 2 software errors today, I don't see it not happening once more. Although a safety car is in this lap, let's see if the safety car does come in. So why don't you take us to the restart?
Honestly, yes, I would love to, as I want to see what Rush does. Honestly, it's all about where he decides to push through, where he decides to go full throttle. He has to catch Aradhya off guard because that's the best way to defend this, is to hope that Faizan catches up to Aradhya and goes for a move that Faizan shouldn't, because that's what I would do, to be honest. If I'm in his place, and look at him warming his tires. He just needs one quick reaction and he's off if he can get it done. Let's see where Rush decides to go through. Is he going? He's gone, he's gone, he's gone. Raja's right behind him. He's been caught off guard. Feels Faizan. Looks a little slow, but then he's going to catch up straight behind Raja as we see Sandeep Maradu thinking of going for a move, as we see Rush hug the inside wall, trying to break the split stream, but Aradhya is not falling for any of it. Aradhya is faster at this stage. He's gonna see if he can go for a move. Aradhya is already doing some. He's already going for a move on the inside. Rush is on the outside.
Again,
Oh, Aradhya just got him. Aradhya got him.
he's got the safety car again. We've got
It's a safety car. Is that a glitch? It's a glitch. There's no fighting. Faizan is fighting for P2. As you say about software issues, here you go. Faizan has got P2.
Rusting has got a penalty as well, so we have to remember that. But he's fighting with Sandeep Maridu. Sandeep Maridu will probably just go by. Simply is up to third. Pre is up to fifth. Can Pre make something up of Sandeep Maridu and probably make it up to fourth? I think there's a chance of redemption for him as Dark Knight makes it up to sixth, but he has got another penalty yet. Rush is plummeting down the order. He's also got a penalty to serve. So he is definitely not going to have the best of race finishes. But Aradhya Gupta currently leads from Faizan, from Simply, from Sandeep. But can something be made of Pre, our earlier race leader at some point in time, who just recovered from a dismal penalty thanks to a safety car? But now we are on to the final lap of racing. Can there be any move? We're on board. Sandeep Maridu trying to make a move on Simply. Whitey doesn't make the corner. Simply's made it. But now is this a chance? Pre has moved up into fourth. Pre is up into fourth place. But can Faizan make a move for the victory? He's not got a lot of corners. He's running out of turns in the hills of Spielberg. He is now going to be watched by the Styrian crests here. He will have to do some jihad to make it into P1. But as it stands, Aradhya is not going to give him the benefit of that. He will take the penultimate corner in full stead, taking out every bit of juice he has from the car, taking it within track limits to bring it home for a trifecta, for a hat trick of victories. Aradhya Gupta wins the Austrian Grand Prix with Faizan in second, Simply in third. Pre recovers back to fourth. Sandeep Maridu is in fifth. Gangster in sixth. A strong showing from North. Fury in seventh. Dark Knight in eighth. Rush in ninth. And Ritesh completes our top 10. With Alex just about to cross the checkered flag in 11th place. Whoa.
Yeah,
Man.
that was a great
That
race
has
from
come.
North. Yeah, that was a great race from the North side. I mean, simply getting P3 seals the fact that they'll be leading the championship by the end of it, regardless of the LMU results, and the fact that the West now have to think back, reset, and find their grip, or rather find the rhythm again to start challenging. Otherwise, we may just see the North run ahead further than they've gone before.
Yup, that was a exhilarating race, I think, and North definitely strong showing from them. Very strong showing from Aradhya. He's been absolutely top of his performances and abilities this weekend. I mean, I haven't seen someone as dialed in as him this weekend. I mean, it's also been a good recovery for Pre, but yeah, hats off to Aradhya. And the relay races were definitely exciting because it's got to be strategic. It's not just you qualify for this race and go on. It has to be well thought out because the next track is going to have different dynamics and different ways of driving. So that was exciting.
Yeah, that definitely was a race worth waiting for. It had everything, to the fact that Aradhya kept losing his pace in the first stint at the end, but then Pre having that pitiful pit stop that completely screwed up his race. It's a lot of what ifs. If Pre didn't, get that penalty, if they didn't have those issues, it could have been an even more interesting race. But then again, Aradhya has dominated this entire weekend. It's been a perfect trilogy of races for him, and he deserves everything in this race. All right, so that's it for us. This is
the end of our event. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, but we will have further events in the Regions Cup as we go ahead and ahead, and I hope you guys join in. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.